What is up, everybody? We are back here with the Fast Break podcast on the Variety Sports Network. I'm your host, Shoot the Rock. As you can see, a little bit different time today. My apologies. We were supposed to go live last night. I actually was going to go live after the Laker game, but some technical difficulties moved it here to this afternoon or early evening here. It's probably gonna be a bit quicker show today. As we are, we got games here starting up in 30 minutes. So honestly, if I can be done before then, that would be great. So that way I can watch these ones because we should have some pretty banger games here tonight with Knicks Pistons and then Nuggets Clippers. But before we get into that, let's start with last night's games as the Timberwolves defeat the Lakers 103-96, ending the Lakers season. The first time that the Lakers have ever been eliminated in the first round as a 3 seed or higher. And honestly, as a Lakers fan, I'm just going to get the bias part out of the way here first. Just very disappointing. Just the effort from the Lakers last night. They did not shoot the ball well at all. And honestly, neither did Minnesota. But what made the difference was Minnesota just had the hustle stats. They were rebounding. They were playing better defense. Like they just wanted it more. They seemed to be the team that was down 3-1 playing with desperation because the Lakers really just weren't. And this honestly very interesting roster decisions to not play Jackson Hayes at all. It's 5 minutes left to go, and they're going with Maxi Kleber as their tallest guy, playing center, and it just didn't work out. Rudy Gobert looked like Michael Jordan. Rudy Gobert in this game had 27 points and 24 rebounds. That is just an insane stat line. A lot of guys were talking shit before this series. Talking smack, saying how, they're not scared of Rudy Gobert. He's overrated, overhyped. And honestly, Rudy kind of silenced the doubters here in this game. Putting up that kind of stat line in a closeout game. He almost had 10 offensive rebounds. It was just the Lakers had no size. They had no answer for him. It was just a matchup nightmare. And the Timberwolves made him pay. Julius Randle, and then, their second leading scorer is Julius Randle, their other big, who granted, he's a 4. That's just normal basketball. I kind of saw some people online being like, oh, the Timberwolves bringing back the 2 big lineup. No. The 2 big lineup was when they had Cat and Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle, that's just a traditional 4 and a 5. That's nothing crazy. That's something the Lakers really should have been able to handle, and they just were not able to at all. And then, of course, Anthony Edwards, 15 points for him, 11 rebounds. That's what I'm saying. Even the guards were the ones grabbing boards too. Everyone was grabbing boards. Just in total in this game, Minnesota out-rebounded the Lakers. They out-rebounded them 54-37. 18-8 in offensive rebounds. I want to see is second chance. They don't put second chance points here on ESPN, sadly, but just the amount of second chance points that the Timberwolves had, I'm sure, was ridiculous. Lakers shoot 42% from the field to Minnesota's 40%. That's nothing really crazy. The Lakers did shoot better, but yeah, Minnesota didn't shoot the ball well at all. Minnesota shot 15% from 3. It was just a complete 180 on how they beat the Lakers from game 1. Game 1, it was they couldn't miss. This was just they out-hustled them. They were missing, but they were going and getting their rebound. They're getting their second shot. Like I said, shooting percentages are pretty similar, but Minnesota took 9 more shots than the Lakers did. They had 10 more attempts on 3-pointers. So while, the percentages are worse, they're just getting so many more shots that it's crazy. So that's just not going to play for the Lakers, and that's where really this offseason they do need to add a big. They need to add a center. They're trying to get Mark Williams. That trade fell through. Mark Williams was doing some hating online. He was tweeting about it, and honestly, respect him. I get it. But yeah, they're definitely, whether it's free agency, whether it's a trade, some sort of center needs to be there for the Lakers. Minnesota side, they now await the winner of, we'll get to this next one, of Rockets and Warriors. We'll get there in a sec. And I don't know, man. It's a team that found themselves in the Western Conference Finals a year ago. They're posting the ads. Anthony Edwards, Kingslayer. When you got a dog like that, man, I don't know. This team could go far. Am I going to pick them in the next round since I'm a hater? Probably not. But I think it's going to be an interesting series, and I could very easily see them back in the Western Conference Finals. So I'm looking forward to previewing that matchup against them and either the Warriors or the Rockets on a Sunday night show. So we'll move on to that Warriors Rockets series. We got two games. We had two great games in this series. First, game 4 on Monday, Golden State won 109-106 on, it was, I just don't really know what their last shot selection was there. Alfred Sengun, he was their leading scorer with 31 points. We tried to go at Draymond, and Draymond, it literally was that cat to DeMarcus Cousins meme where DeMarcus Cousins is just like bricked up and Cat's like, making a face trying to get by, and he just clearly can't. That's what Draymond did to Sengun. And honestly, Draymond, this was just a quintessential Draymond game. He had 5 fouls in this one, as well as a tech and a flagrant. Bro literally could not have had another whistle go against him or he's out of the game. And he's just so good at finding the line, playing his role. Trust me, I hate him. I can't stand Draymond Green. But he's one of those guys, if you're a Warriors fan, you love Draymond. Oh, I didn't flip it here. Sorry. So you love Draymond because he plays his role perfectly, and that's exactly what he did. You really didn't even get a great Curry game in this one. He only had 17 points, shot 2 of 8 from 3. It was Jimmy was the leader with 27, as well as 6 assists for him on the game. And then Brandon Pajemski, too, playing really well. 26 points for him on 11 shots, as well as 5 rebounds, 5 assists. So doing it all. And yeah, really, Quentin Post had 13 off the bench. Well, than that, it really was those starters. They leaned on him heavy. All of them played outside of Draymond, and Buddy Hield. They all played 30, all 5 starters played 30 plus minutes, and then 3 of the 5 played 39 plus minutes. So, a lot of big minutes from these guys here. On the Rockets side in game 4, Sengun, like I mentioned, 31 points, but took him 28 shots, not the most efficient. Jalen Green was a no-show. He only had 8 points. Like the home and road splits in this series for Jalen Green have just been crazy. The Rockets need a better effort from him in game 6. We'll get to that in a second here. And Fred VanVleet had 25 as well. So Rockets found themselves back against the wall after that loss there on Monday. That's what I'm saying. It's hard when you're going against these more experienced teams to try it. You can't drop games at home, but they responded. They won at home yesterday, 131-116. Pretty. They cruised to victory in this one. I forget what the largest lead was. Let me pull that up here. The largest lead in this one, Rockets led by as much as 31 in this one. Like, this game was really never a game. I turned it on kind of late, and by the time I turned it on, they were up big. Which, granted, in the NBA, that a 20-point lead can go away very quick, but Rockets did a good job and make sure that run never came. And that's what I'm saying. Another game. Well, no, it was not a good game from Jalen Green. Only 11 points, but shot the ball a little bit better than usual. Plus he was a plus 20, but it was once again, what am I saying, bro? I can't read. It was VanVleet, Amen Thompson, and Dylan Brooks this game with 26, 25, and 24. Alfred Sengun had 15 points, but had 9 rebounds, 9 assists. So he wasn't as effective scoring, but honestly, he did what he probably should have done at the end of game 4. He was more a distributor. He was doing other things in this game to help his team win, and these guys are hitting shots. Thompson, 25 points on 12 shots. That's very efficient. Plus 32 on the game. Dylan Brooks, plus 25 on the game. 24 points on 13 shots. Did go 2 of 7 from 3. That's not great, but other than that, shot the ball pretty well. Fred VanVleet, 26 points on 13 shots. 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. So all these other guys were really scoring while Sengun was holding it down on the rebound defensive end. Jalen Green did have 8 rebounds in this one as well. But yeah, you'd like a little bit more from your guy who's supposed to be your superstar. And this was one they emptied the bench. It was kind of funny. Like, the Warriors' leading scorer was Moses Moody, who's here. Like, he shouldn't be listed at the bottom. He scored 20. He played 26 minutes. That's the most points off the bench out of anyone. So yeah, this was a game. Rockets just kind of dominated. And like I said, they've been a completely different team at home and on the road. At home, they've looked like outside of game 1, they have really looked like the better team in this series, I would say. But in Golden State, they just haven't been able to get over the hump. Game Game 2 at home, they rolled pretty handily. This game, they rolled it. Literally was just game 1. You can't afford to drop game 1 at home. So we'll see if maybe they can figure something out in game 6 tomorrow night, even it up, or we'll have to see if, Golden State ends it. And then moving on to the last series out west, this another one where game 6 is tonight. Should be excited for that one. But the Nuggets take a 3-2 lead after just dominating the Clippers in game 5, 131 to 115. Jamal Murray with 43 points. And, oh, man, he is just quite the performer in the postseason. He's just unguardable. I forget what this was. Let me read it again. But I know he had, like, some crazy stat for his how many 40-point games he has. Let's see if I can find it here. I just see that I got to write this stuff down. It's tough. It was coming from work here today. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. That's why I need a stats and research department and not me being the producer and the on-air talent all in one. Makes things a little difficult. But yeah, 131 to 115 victory for the Nuggets behind a big game from Jamal Murray. This is another one. It just wasn't really close. Like, there's a bunch of other games on Tuesday, so it wasn't super locked in this one. Nuggets never trailed in the game. They led by as much as 22. And it's kind of crazy, man. That buzzer beater dunk from Aaron Gordon, did it change the course of the series? Because, I mean, this series could have very easily been 3-1 Clippers if that dunk doesn't count. If the Clippers would have went on to win in overtime, they were coming back, they were hot. But now, it's 2-2 heading back home. They honestly could have won game 1. They kind of let that one slip as well. So Clippers have had their chance in this series and now are backs against the wall. Just point out some other people. Aaron Gordon with another big game, 23 points for him in this one. He was a plus 13. Michael Porter Jr. only 14 points, but was a plus 34, the best of anyone on the Nuggets. And then, Murray, 43, like I already mentioned. Jokic had 13, but 10 and 12, so a triple-double. I mean, the guy's insane. It's kind of crazy that he was the fourth player I mentioned. That's how well the Nuggets played in that game. But, yeah, I mean, it's you just kind of come to expect it with Nikola Jokic to this point. And then Braun as well, 11 points, plus 18. So everyone in double figures starting for the Nuggets. And then Russell Westbrook, too, 21 points off the bench. Was a -4 and a victory. Kind of hard to do, but was scoring the ball. On the Clippers side, it was Zubac. Zubac was the leader with 27, and that's just something that can't really happen. I mean, James Harden only took 9 shots in this game, was a -16, only 11 points. Like, Harden does have a tendency to have these duds in the playoffs, and if the Clippers are going to win this series, like, he needs to play a lot better these next 2 games or else it's over for them. So, I mean, not really much else to say there. Leonard did have 20 points, 9 rebounds, 11 assists, so he almost had a triple-double as well, but was a -7. I mean, that's one of the lower ones. Chris Dunn -5 with 15 points. So, I don't know. It's really just, can they shut down Jamal Murray? If Jamal Murray is outplaying James Harden by that much, any of these next 2 games, it's over. It's really going to take shutting down that guy because, Jokic is going to get his regardless. I mean, like you said, he didn't score a bunch, but still had a triple-double. Like, that's pretty remarkable. So, yeah, I don't know. Not much more to say about this one. Like I said, it wasn't the greatest game. Wasn't super locked in on it. I got to do a better job maybe kind of rewatching some of the highlights of these games. Just so hard with all these games on at times, guys, to be super locked in on every single game, especially, I'm big into hockey too. I got the Leafs Sens game on right now. That one's starting. So good win there for the Nuggets. They look to wrap it up tonight on the road. So we'll now shift over to the East. We'll go with another series that game 2 or game 5 was on Tuesday. We'll start with the one that ended because this will be quicker. Celtics win 120-89 over the Magic, complete the 4-1 series victory. And honestly, like, Orlando did play them close. Orlando was up at halftime in this game. It looked like, could we maybe get an interesting one? Could the Magic push it back to Orlando? But was not the case in the second half, especially the third quarter. The Celtics just jumped all over them. 36-13. The Celtics outscored the Magic in the third quarter and then outscored them 37-27 in the fourth as well. So when you're just like, that just can't happen if you're the Magic. 13-point quarter when you're looking to finally steal it. So shout out Boston for really coming out hot in the second half. It's once again 35 points from Jason Tatum. People are clowning on him. People are always going to clown on Tatum. But I don't know, man. He's been playing very well this postseason when he's been healthy. So that's got to be exciting if you're a Celtics fan. And then Jaylen Brown as well, 23 points for him in the victory, 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. So, and as well as, had 6 assists. Yeah, Tatum, I'm sorry, I got to shut him out too. 10 assists, 8 rebounds. Like, bro is 2 rebounds away from a 35-point triple-double. Like, that's an insane stat line. And then this, I just keep saying it. It's beating. I sound like a broken record. The Celtics are just so deep. Horford, Porzingis, and Derek White all only had 9 points. Horford was a plus 28 in this game. But then off the bench, you got Peyton Pritchard, plus 29 with 10 points. Sam Hauser, plus 17, 10 points. Luke Cornett, 9 points. He was a plus 23. Like, you just have all these guys. They come in and play impactful minutes. Like, when their bench comes in, the Celtics really don't take a step back. So it's very impressive. I mean, you're looking at 3 guys that are off the bench, all playing 20-plus minutes off the bench and playing very, very impactful minutes. So they're going to be a tough team to beat with just how deep they are. Looking on the Magic side, it was Franz Wagner, once again, the leader with 25 points. Going to take him 22 shots, including going 0-4 from 3, and was a minus 23 in the game. So tough game from him. Banchero, 19 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. So overall good stat line for him. And then Wendell Carter had 12 points, 10 rebounds. So I think really in those 3 guys, I mean, not as much Carter as Banchero and Wagner. Orlando, like I said, I've been saying the same stuff. I've had the same take all series. Orlando, if they can build around those guys and have real backcourt, I think they could be a team to make a run here in the East in a little bit, because, I mean, you're really seeing it, how talented those 3 guys are. Honestly, you could argue, well, granted, it was a 4-1 sweep. Orlando might have played Boston tougher than any team in the East, out East did last year. And Indiana got swept. They did play some tough games. I'm trying to think. Miami took 1 game. I think the Cavs series, Boston won pretty handily. Like, Orlando, gave the Celtics, gave them the business a little bit. It wasn't just, completely cakewalking over them. Granted, it does kind of look like that from the score in this one. But, I mean, they played some close games. I mean, looking at, just to recap here this series, I guess maybe not. I don't know. So at least once the series shifted to Orlando and came back, it felt like the Magic at least were kind of putting up some resistance. So I'll give them credit for that. So the Celtics now advance, and they will await the winner of this next series, which could be overnight. The Knicks lead the Pistons 3-2, with Game 6, like I said, about to tip off here in about 15-20 minutes. So we'll try to get this wrapped up here pretty quickly. But the Pistons steal it in New York, 106-103, pushed the series back to Detroit. And this game was close throughout. This was a very good game. That's what I'm saying. I was locked in on this game, and the Bucks Pacers, which we'll get to in a sec, before it. So that's why, I feel like the Boston series and then that Denver game, I didn't have many takes on, because I was really locked in on this one. That took a lot of my time. But Cade Cunningham, another good game for him, 24 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. So he's really shown up in this series. First playoff series, he's playing very well. And the other Thompson twin, really good game for him as well, 22 points, 7 rebounds in this one. And especially he only took 10 shots. So that's very impressive. Did shoot 6 of 12 from the line, so left some points out there on the line. And then Tobias Harris, man, he's had a resurgence. He was kind of buns, if I'm being honest, in Philly. Well, now he's back in Detroit, and he's playing pretty well. 17 points for him in this one, as well as 8 rebounds. Had 4 blocks too, so playing well on the defensive end. This Detroit team, man, they could very easily be up 3-2 in this series. I mean, take away them getting screwed in Game 4. Game 1, Game 1 was a winnable game for them. They should have. They shouldn't have lost both games. Honestly, this series could be over, really. This could be a 4-1 Piston series already, the way they're playing. And just really the storyline of this one was, it was Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart got stuck on the sideline, couldn't come in. There was no stoppages, and the Knicks they had 1 timeout left, so you don't want to use it. And they were Pistons were in the bunch, so they couldn't foul to get Hart and Brunson in the game. And that, honestly, it kind of cost the Knicks. I mean, looking at, a one possession game here, and they actually got to play like two minutes there when you're trying to get two of your better players in the game, and they couldn't get in. I mean, because they're both positive players in this game. Brunson only had 16 points, but did have 7 assists and was a +1. Josh Hart had 15 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, was a +3. The other 3 Knicks starters, Towns, Anunoby, and Bridges, were all minus players in this one. Bridges had 17, Anunoby had 19, and Towns also was 17 with 10 rebounds. But I don't know, man. Detroit's playing them tough, so I'm really excited for this game 6 here, and that's why I'm trying to go a little bit quicker here than normal. And yeah, I think it should be a good game. Honestly, I think we're getting 7. I think Detroit, they take care of business here tonight. So then finally, what we will wrap the show up with is our first series preview, because after the Cavs knocked off the Heat on Tuesday or Monday night to sweep the Heat, they won the series. They scored 122 more points than the Heat did in this series. Like, that was never close. And then after the Bucks choked it away, which we can touch on that quick here, we have Cavs and Pacers in a second round series. So yeah, honestly, I do want to touch on that because there's some controversial stuff that went down. So the Pacers knocked off the Bucks 118-119 in overtime, which then afterwards, John Halliburton, Tyrese Halliburton's father, got in the face of Giannis, resulting in a confrontation between the two. Also, then Benedict Mathurin was going at Giannis a little bit. So I don't know, man. Like, the Pacers here, they dominated the series. Second straight year, they've knocked the Bucks out here. Gary Trent Jr., I do want to highlight him, had a very good game, 33 points, and was hitting some clutch shots, but also had some bad turnovers down the stretch, especially in overtime, that cost the Bucks in this one. Like, I really thought, to be honest, I kind of stopped, like, wasn't super locked in on this because I was like, oh, this is over. Like, let's go. I'm now here in the Milwaukee area. I was like, oh, let's go. Maybe game 6 on Friday, I could at least, like, if I don't go to the game, at least, like, go downtown, be in the area, have a good time. And then all of a sudden they just blew it. And then the Pacers started running their mouth. And they've been doing it again. And honestly, like, Giannis's press conference postgame was spot on. He has won a championship. Pacers have not. And then running their mouths. Now, granted, yeah, they won the series. Am I, like, saying, like, they can't talk shit? No. But, like, there should be, like, some level of respect for your opponent once the series is over. Like, it shouldn't be, hey, we beat you and I'm going to, like, absolutely shit on you to your face. Like, I don't know. In hockey, they shake hands at the end of the series. I'm not saying we need that in the NBA, but it shouldn't be like, why are you starting stuff after you've won the series? And especially, like I said, it's the first round. They won a first round series. Right? Did the Pacers make the conference finals last year? Yes. They got swept, though. They haven't won anything. They've won now 3 rounds the past 2 years. Granted, that's more than the Bucks. But why? Like, why? Like, save your energy, bro. Save your talking. Win something. And that's my biggest takeaway. And, props to Halliburton, because, like I said, I kind of thought he was instigating a lot of this stuff. He kind of right away was like, yeah, what my dad did was crazy, which, granted, now that he's, like, banned from going to games, I think that's a little insane. Like, I don't know, go on a whole tangent here of, like, this, like, media, like, shit gets overblown. Like, honestly, like, the Shedeur Sanders prank call, is that bad? Yes, but the, like, finding the Jeff Ulbrich $100,000 just because of Shedeur Sanders, like, that's so stupid. Especially considering, like, there's been other prank calls that have come up, but it's just because, like, Shedeur, like, films everything. That's why that came to the light. Like, that's again, the prank call is shitty. It's stupid. And I know it's an NBA show that's unrelated. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of think, like, some of the, like, social media outrage about some of this stuff is just getting ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Halliburton fully was like, yeah, he can't be doing that. Like I said, I mean, he is his dad, but, like, there's no place for that. Like, it doesn't just mean because you're someone's, like, family, you get to go on the court. If he wants to celebrate with Tyrese on the court, sure. But, like, going at Giannis, very, very silly to me. Wasn't a fan of it. I agree 100% with Giannis. Like, Pacers, like, that's just disrespectful. You owe Giannis some more respect. Granted, Giannis probably now out of Milwaukee. I got to think, especially now Dame's going to be out long term. And I almost just, like, get the sense from Bucks fans where they're kind of like, yeah, just, like, this guy brought us a championship. Like, he's done all he can do here. So be interesting to see where Giannis goes, but that'll be more for another day. Because like I said, we got Cavs, Pacers, round 2. Game 1's going to be here on Sunday. Time is still TBD. Pacers won the season series, 3 games to 1. So very impressive. Not a lot of teams are able to do that off of Cleveland this year. I mean, it's a team that won 64 games. The fact that, only lost 18 games. Pacers have attributed a sixth of the losses that the Cavs have had all year. That's pretty impressive. So, yeah, we got game 1 on Sunday, game 2 Tuesday, game 3 Friday. So, yeah, this one's going to be heating up, I think. So, yeah, I'll be breaking down game 1 in the next episode. And then, yeah, so we'll be good where then all the other series will catch up. Okay, nice. So, this one, just kind of looking at the stat leads. I guess I could share my screen with this too. Mine as well, like I did for the first round. I feel like that'd be a good little thing to share here. So yeah, like I said, there's the results, and I'm looking at it here. So the leaders we got, Donovan Mitchell with 24 points per game, Pascal Siakam with 20. On the rebounding side, Allen with 9, almost 10. Siakam with 7 assists. Garland, Haliburton. I'm going to be honest, for me, this is really the series where there's been kind of some talk of Donovan Mitchell, and rightfully so, not being the greatest playoff performer. Well, this is the series where he finally has to kind of end that narrative, I feel like, and back up his play here. He can't get outplayed by Tyrese Haliburton in this series, because if he does, I have a very hard time seeing the Cavs winning this series. Granted, I don't know. I mean, who would you give the advantage to in the bigs? Siakam and Miles Turner against, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. That's going to be a really good battle between those two as well. I kind of want to look here. So looking at like these results, the winners, April 13th, I think that was the last day of the regular season. So this one I'm kind of throwing out actually. But yeah, I mean, if you look in the Pacers win, Haliburton's the leading scorer. This one, Donovan Mitchell's leading scorer. Nembhard's the leading scorer of this one. So, yeah, I'll have to look back on that game. But that's what I'm saying. It's going to be a good backcourt battle, too, Nembhard and Haliburton against and Mitchell and Garland. So, these are two teams, very, very talented all around. I think it really should be a good series. As you can see here, most of these games were pretty close. I guess the first game in January was a bit of a blowout, but and they play 2 nights later, and we got a bit closer game, 10 points, but was a closer game throughout. I'm gonna go with the Cavs. I posed this question out here on the channel, around the Twitter account, on who you got winning how many games. A lot of what we're looking at right now. Let me pull this up. I believe most votes were for the Cavs, and I voted for Cavs. Of the 4 votes, 4 people that have voted so far, 3 have voted Cavs in 6 or 7. 1 has voted Cavs 4 or 5. No one's picked the Pacers yet. I'm agreeing with the voters. I'm going Cavs in 6 to win this series. I think they've been a very dominant team all year. And granted, like I said, Pacers were in the Eastern Conference Finals a year ago. But I think, like I said, it's kind of put up or shut up time for Donovan Mitchell, and I think we get a big series out of him. So I'm going to go with the Cavs to take this one. So just kind of looking here, give some predictions quick for tonight's games, as they're about to tip off here tonight and tomorrow's games, then we'll get out of here. So tonight we got, like I said, about to tip off Knicks at Pistons at 6:30 Central on TNT. Pistons are 1.5 point favorites in this one. I'm going with the Pistons to take it. And then Nuggets, Clippers, second game of TNT doubleheader at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Clippers are 6.5 point favorites. I said from the beginning, Nuggets in 7. That's what I want this series to go. I'm going to stick with that prediction. So give me the Clippers to win this one. So we're going to have game 7s in both these series. On Friday, we got Rockets, Warriors. Golden State leads 3-2. They're 5.5 point favorites. Originally I said Warriors in 7 at the start of this. But like I said, the Rockets have just been a completely different team home and away. And I think that kind of crowd's getting to them a little bit. So give me the Warriors take this one. I'm going to go Warriors in 6 now instead of 7. And then that would give us 2 game 7s on Saturday with Knicks, Pistons, and Clippers, Nuggets. And I'm going Knicks and Nuggets, the home teams to take those ones. So, like I said, sticking with my original prediction of Nuggets in 7. I think originally I said Knicks in 6 before the start of the series, but I don't know. Detroit's been playing better than I thought they would. So that's what I'm going with there. Knicks and Nuggets in 7. So I got both the Pistons and Clippers winning tonight to force those game 7. So honestly, two game 7s in the first round for the NBA playoffs. We'll take that, man. That's pretty dang good. Usually we don't get that many. So that's all I got for today. Like I said, a little bit quicker episode. Plus now, that these series are kind of winding down a little bit. There's not as much to talk about. These episodes probably will be a little bit quicker going forward. So we'll have more time for your guys, comments and takes. So feel free to drop them in the chat if you're watching here live, or if you're watching afterwards on YouTube or Spotify, feel free to drop them there too. So like I said, make sure to subscribe here to the Variety Sports Network on both YouTube and Spotify. Make sure to follow me at Shoot the Rock everywhere. Follow the Fast Break socials or they're just on Twitter. Follow the Fast Break VSN on Twitter. Stay up to date with all the show updates and takes. So appreciate you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.